All right, welcome in. Welcome in. It is Friday afternoon, and we have got football to talk about. We got a huge game this weekend. We got to pick each game. We've got a game to react to from last night. We got big college football games. We've got plenty going on this November Friday. Welcome in, everyone. Hope the week went well. I hope the week went well. You made it to Friday. That's all you can ask for. You made it to Friday. And now we got the weekend, and the weekend has football, so it's going to be a gosh darn good weekend. So most would think I'd probably start off with the reaction from the game last night. But that is not where I want to start today. 35-minute podcast. Next week, work is going to slow down even more. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I said it was going to take about 2 to 3 weeks, probably Thanksgiving week is when it was really going to slow down, and that's what it looks like right now. So, I was thinking about something after some news yesterday. It's really, really disheartening when we hear about businesses that don't want accountability for what they do. I have myself never been part of a union. Now, I work for a company that is, in a sense, a contracted party of a business that is run by a union. So if the union is doing something, it ends up affecting me, but I get no benefit from. There's nothing I get from the union. I am not a part of it. But what they do affects my job and my work. So yesterday, there is a story that came out that the NFL again asked the NFLPA to stop doing the report cards. They wanted them to stop putting out how bad some of these organizations are. And there's only 32 teams. Teams will still take money from a poorly run organization. But the NFLPA has put a very big price on trying to give the employees the best information they can about their potential job spot. Would you rather work for the Kansas City Chiefs, or would you rather work for the New York Jets? If it comes down between those two teams, I know we can sit on the outside and go, well, that's an easy answer. It is. But the report cards give more detail than just the Super Bowls. They give more detail than just, yeah, you'll have success here. Remember, there is this thing about success. It can cover up a lot of little different specs and flecks that may not be great, because success is big. If you don't have the success, then every little detail ends up getting nitpicked, and that's kind of how things play out. Well, even with the way everything is, the Hunt family actually didn't get a great grade as far as ownership. Other owners are a lot more active in their team, a lot more available to the players. And the NFL wants them to stop, citing that it invites public criticism of the team. It's the report cards. We're flipping the bill. The people are flipping the bill. They're paying Hulu, Peacock, Amazon. I'm not going to throw in there because everybody has Amazon, primarily to save all the money on shipping. And one of the perks is now NBA and NFL for quite a few years now. We're the ones paying. You got all the media deals. You got all the endorsement deals. People are still the ones buying everything, which gives those companies money. So the people being able to know about what the reality is behind closed doors. I am very, very excited for the Indianapolis report card this year. And yes, I believe a yearly report card is needed. My wife and I watch our kids' report cards probably more than most parents do, because maybe a lot of parents do nowadays, since it's on an app and you can see it so easily. There's no digging for it, so it may actually be, there may be a lot of parents now that watch it all the time. When I was growing up, they weren't watching it. It was report card day. They knew when the report cards were coming back. And your parents were waiting on those report cards, and you, depending on how much you applied yourself, were regretting or fearful of what that report card may say. And that's a good thing. Because the expectation should be met. As long as it's not astronomical, it should be met. So I don't like when a big company doesn't want accountability. They're citing a CBA agreement that every 3 years they would do a survey. Every 3 years is not good enough. Every other year, I would say is a possibility, because every other year would at least, okay, you messed this year. You've got now, from that time, 2 full years before your next report card. Can you improve? I could be okay with that option. But a yearly report card. Did you spend money on the team facilities? Were you more involved as an owner? Is the new coach that's the first time coach in the NFL really worth being a coach? Plenty of different things that the report card helps bring out. And I'll tell you what, I hope the NFLPA stands their ground. They should, and I hope they do, because I believe the report cards do help. If you decide as an owner you're gonna be a bad owner. If you decide you're gonna be a bad owner, Dave Tepper with Carolina, bunch of issues, couldn't get anybody to go down there. He's got Dan Morgan. He got a couple of free agents to go down there. But Tepper was one of those not really liked. And he's kind of backed it off a little bit. If he improves from last year, that is better for the players. And it's better for us, because then more people are willing to go play there. They're worried about it getting really, really top and bottom heavy in the NFL. That's the owner's fault. There's accountability, there's consequences, there's reactions to each decision an owner makes. And if they don't want that job of making that decision, sell the team. And I know, I know, easier said than done. Why would you sell something that makes that much money? I agree. I know. But if you don't want the position, and this is what I tell a lot of people when they start asking about management. I've been in management for a long time. And I say, if you don't want this responsibility that's going to be on you, don't go into management. Management is glossy. It's got shiny specks in it. The work you need to put in to be a good manager is very, very down low, floor level. You get dirty because a good manager is not the one that sits in the office all the time. A good owner, you know who they are in the NFL. Arthur Blank may choose the wrong head coach a lot, but Arthur Blank of the Atlanta Falcons is an amazing owner. Amazing owner. Jeff Lowry of the Eagles is an amazing owner. He will make some decisions. He's not willing to make changes, but he is a very good owner. Robert Kraft is a very good owner. He let Bill Belichick run his tenure too long, yes. But did you see Rob Gronkowski last night sitting next to him? Come on. Robert Kraft is loved. I mean, do you guys remember the Tom Brady roast? He told everybody, no Kraft jokes, because that was after all that junk had gone on at that strip club, that massage parlor. And he told them, no jokes about Mr. Kraft. There's a respect. He's a very good owner. If you're not a good owner, like Woody Johnson, John Mara, I'm really not sure about Khan down in Jacksonville. I don't think he understands football. I think there's a bigger issue in Jacksonville, and I think it starts way above. It's the top that it starts with. That one's a big issue. But it matters. And accountability helps keep everything on a right path. And it's good. And it's good for football. It's good for football. All right. Other news. I had seen these stories, and this is gonna end up affecting general people a lot. The NFL finally sent a detailed memo and effort to restrict prop betting in bets. And I don't want to spend too much time on this so we can get to the picks and previews for the weekend. But I do want to comment on this. If people are going to keep the general public, I am not one of them. I am a diehard fantasy football player. I'm not a diehard bettor. You guys know my betting philosophy does not lose me money ever. But if the prop bets are creating an unsafe place for the players, and I've talked about this before, college, I am fully okay with not allowing prop betting. College, I'm 100% okay with not allowing prop betting. The kids do not deserve that. The NFL is a professional sport. They're worried about multiple things now, and they're not sure how to handle all this betting ability. How many different apps are out there? ESPN is shutting down their betting platform because Disney actually isn't making money. They show a profit, but they're not really making money. And they're shutting down ESPN Bet, and then DraftKings is coming in, and they're like, hey, DraftKings, how about you be the official betting partner? You got Bet365, you got BetMGM, you got Hard Rock Bet that just started. You got FanDuel. You got Prize Picks. Shoot, my fantasy app my fantasy app has only prop bets available on it. I don't like taking it away, but if it's going to endanger the players, then yeah, something has to be done. Something has to be done. Because nobody should be told to go kill themselves. Nobody should be told to get run over by a car due to a missed field goal, due to a dropped pass, due to making the right decision in a football game when a running back or receiver goes down instead of scoring a touchdown for the team. If it's that bad, which we've heard a lot more reports about, then yeah, I unfortunately would have to agree something has to be done. I would absolutely agree something has to be done. It needs to be outlawed for college, period. I think college needs to be done with prop bets. Over under, do the alternate spread, do the alternate points, money line, do all that. But get rid of the player prop bets. If it's not the team, get rid of it in college. And I've been on that one for a while. But we'll see what happens. But it is all these different stories that are coming out. I mean, I remember how pissed off Indy was after Vanderjerk missed that kick against the Steelers. And I remember how everybody was really, really upset, and we all were jumping on him. But you didn't have social media. You didn't have everything we have now where, everybody is more available to be able to try to reach out to. So I think there needs to be a concerted effort and thoughts about the availability and the ease of players to the public that are money hungry, because it's all about money. So we'll see what they do. All right, here we go. Boom. All right, oh man, can't believe this. Week 11, NFL, Hawks pick 6. Week 12 of college football. We'll close out reacting to the game last night. Let's get the picks done real fast here. The spreads are really, really odd this weekend. As you guys know, I want to pick the big games. I really, really do. I want to pick the big games. And the spreads on some of these bigger games are weird. But I'm still going to pick the big games. The Buccaneers at the Bills, it's going to be 41 degrees, according to what the weather says. The Bills are favored by 5.5 points. Listen, the Buccaneers have a passing game that could easily stay in this game and win it. But the Bills coming off of that loss, they're coming back home. The Patriots just won, and I believe that keeps the pressure on the Bills. So even though it's 5.5, I'm picking this game because it's 2 6-3 teams. This is a game that will be watched by a lot of people on Sunday. And I'm going with the Buffalo Bills over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another big game is the Chargers at the Jaguars. I have to figure out whether or not I believe in Jacksonville's ability to basically Liam Cohen's ability to design plays that get the ball out of Lawrence's hands fast. Brenton Strange may be back this week from the IR, which is a big, big thing for him. And Brian Thomas, let me check here. Hold on. Brian Thomas, this is going to actually be really big because Brian Thomas holds a lot of weight. Right now, he's still questionable. He's been limited in practice all week. So he is going to end up being a game time decision. But what I am going off of right now is the fact that I believe Jacksonville's defense will get to – everybody's gotten to Justin Herbert. It's going to be 77 degrees, sunny. The Jaguars are 5-4. Coming off of that heartbreaking loss to the Texans, I think this is a big game for Jacksonville. The Chargers, I'm just not so sure they're going to be able to do much right now. They need Omari and Hampton to come back badly. So I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars at home, 2.5-point underdogs. I'm going with the Jags to beat the Chargers. The Rams and the Seahawks. This game, listen, I love what the Seahawks have done. I have picked them a lot. But the Rams are home. The Seahawk offense can be beat. They struggled against the Texans. That Texan defense in Seattle kept them in the game. Remember that. They were there. It kept them in the game. But I think at home, the Rams are just really, really efficient right now. This is a huge game. McVay is not going to understate what this game is. This is the chance for the Rams to jump on top of this division, and I think they take it. They're 3.5-point favorites. I'm going with the Rams over the Seahawks at home. Then we have the Chiefs at the Broncos. Kansas City is favored by 3.5. This is because of the offensive woes of the Denver Broncos. The over-under for this game is 44.5. So Vegas is thinking, yeah, there's not going to be a ton of points in this game. A 21-20, 23-20 game is very possible. And I fully agree with them. Fully agree. But we just saw a game in which Patrick Mahomes was uncomfortable because of the Bills' defense. Vance Joseph. Now remember, the Chiefs have had a full bye. The Broncos haven't played since last Thursday. They've got a mini bye. They got a little bit healthier. They are healthier heading into this weekend. And I think a team that's 5-0 at home will go 6-0 in the game of the week on CBS. Broncos are 3.5-point underdogs. 3.5. I'm hammering the Broncos all day. I think it may only be a field goal either way. But I'm going with the Broncos at home. The defense is going to be ready. They're going to be playing. That place is going to be rocking. It's going to be a playoff atmosphere. And I think Sean Payton will figure out for at least one game that you got to let Knicks run around. Because Spagnuolo is going to bring the blitz. So he's going to understand, I got to get the ball out fast. He's going to create the plays to get the ball out fast. Look for Mims and Ingram to potentially have huge games. I'm going with Denver at home over Kansas City. Then we got Philadelphia against the Lions. This game is a game I would normally immediately pick the Eagles because it is a dome team going outside. That is normally my rule of thumb. But, Dan Campbell taking over play calling duties. The defense for the Eagles, yeah, Jalen Phillips is big. The addition is good for them. He's a free agent at the end of the year. It's a big addition for him. But can we really trust the Philadelphia offense to do anything? I have said if Terrion Arnold plays, the Lions have a lot better shot. Terrion Arnold versus A.J. Brown is a very good matchup for the Lions. A.J. Brown, once again, been talking, once again, been complaining. If they try to force feed Brown, this game can go the Lions' way. If the Lions' defense can stuff Saquon Barkley, this game can go the Lions' way. I believe Jared Goff has improved as a quarterback so well that Laporta, St. Brown, Williams, something just tells me this is a Dan Campbell game. This is a Dan Campbell game. Sunday Night Football. Lions on the road in Philadelphia. Philadelphia does not always come out to play under the lights. We've seen them get beat on Thursday Night Football, and we've seen them play really, really close on Thursday Night Football. We've seen them put up some big performances. But they don't always come out to play. The Lions, most of the time, come out to play in primetime. Dan Campbell has his boys ready, and I think he does it again. So I'm going with the Lions, 2.5-point underdogs on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles. Run it with Gibbs, run it with Montgomery, play action with Goff, Jameson Williams over the top. I think it's a big game. I think it's a huge game. All right, an understated game. The Bears on the road at the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota is favored by 2.5 points. And I'm going with the favorite in this game. Number one, this is a huge game for Minnesota. But I do believe this has to be a Brian Flores game. I do believe that's the case. I have zero inkling that this is going to be an offensive battle. Brian Flores will be after Caleb Williams. He will get him into situations where he makes mistakes. The first drive for the Bears, I think, will look really good. They'll either get a touchdown or a field goal out of it. And then after you're off script, that's when I think it goes downhill for the Bears. And that's really where I see that game ending up. It may only be a 3-point game. It could be an ugly game in Minnesota in the Dome. But I'm going to go with Minnesota to topple the Bears, and that NFC North gets even more wild. So, for Hawks Pick 6, Week 11, we got the Bills over the Bucks, the Jags over the Chargers, the Rams to beat the Seahawks, the Broncos to beat the Chiefs, the Lions to upset the Eagles on Sunday Night Football, and the Minnesota Vikings to create havoc in the NFC North, getting back to 500 and knock off the Chicago Bears. And that is this week's Pick 6. There we go. All right. Now we got college football. And then we'll talk about the game last night a little bit. So, tonight we've got Clemson at Louisville. Don't sleep on Clemson. Just don't do it. If Clemson beats Louisville, nobody's going to be shocked. Well, actually, some people make it like it's a shock. Nobody's shocked. Give me a break. And then we got Minnesota at Oregon. That one, if Minnesota beats Oregon, that will be a shocker. That will absolutely be a shocker. But tomorrow, Notre Dame at Pittsburgh. And I have gone back and forth on this game a lot. Notre Dame favored by 12. This will be the toughest game the Notre Dame Fighting Irish have played since week 2. It's on the road. Supposed to be rainy. 59. That weather has not changed. I think it's an ugly game. It's going to be in the Pittsburgh Steelers Stadium, which will then also be played on for the Bengals and Steelers on Sunday. So the field could be tore up on Sunday too. So let's watch for that. But I think the Pittsburgh Panthers have a defense that can frustrate Notre Dame. I think they have a defense that could stop the run. And they've got a passing game that I believe is enough to be able to beat the Irish. You know me, I want to pick Pittsburgh. I really want to pick Pittsburgh. But I'm going to take the Irish by a field goal because I trust their quarterback a little bit more than I do the Pittsburgh Panther quarterback. So I'm going to go Notre Dame, but not by 11.5. Pittsburgh's going to be close. And if they win, I'll be kicking myself for not pulling the trigger and doing it. All right, Oklahoma against Alabama. Oklahoma. This is a huge game. Brent Venables is the defensive play caller for the Oklahoma Sooners. So it's Brent Venables going up against Kellen DeBoer in Alabama. My question is, the Alabama team has struggled with good passing quarterbacks all year. The question is, can one finally knock them off? And to me, this is that type of game where they can do it. I think they can do it. I've got Oklahoma to beat Alabama tomorrow in Tuscaloosa because the quarterbacks, the Alabama defense isn't great. The offense, when Ty Simpson's really on, is how they've won games. If he's even slightly off, they're not good. I believe Venables is going to be ready for this, and I believe they're going to play hard. So I've got the underdog Sooners to cause havoc in the college football playoff to knock off Alabama. Then we got Iowa against USC. Huge game for USC. They need this win. This is a tough, gritty win that they need. I don't think they get it. Iowa is tougher. Iowa will just run the ball down their throats. Iowa will just continue to play really good defense. Almost beat Oregon last week. It's going to be gorgeous. Or no, it's actually going to be rainy in if it's rainy in Southern California, I am picking Iowa all day. Iowa is 6.5-point underdogs, and I'm going with Iowa. And it's that simple. All right. 4 minutes. Let's close this out. And let's close it out talking about last night's game. First of all, if we talk about last night's game, we got to talk about the uniforms for the Patriots. Dude, those things were Those things were sick. Those were awesome uniforms. The white helmets, the powder blue, that was cool. That was a really cool uniform. I like it. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love those uniforms. And I love the play on the field even better. Don't look now, the Patriots are 9-2. They got one of the easier schedules, and the only tough game they really have left to play is the Bills. Which means the Bills cannot afford to lose another game at this point and have to win out and hope that the Patriots stumble again. Josh McDaniels has Drake May absolutely confident. Mike Vrabel has the entire team confident. They're playing within themselves. They still have limitations. There's still restrictions. Milton Williams went out last night. No big deal. Beating the Jets 27-14 on Thursday Night Football, the way they did, controlling the game, being consistent, being smart with what they do, it was just a beautiful thing to watch. And the New England Patriots, they could easily end up being that number one seed. Don't look now, but they could easily end up being that number one seed. Do not sleep on New England. The AFC could go through Foxborough again. This team is so well coached. The staff is an amazing staff. They've brought in players with chips on their shoulder. They were talking about it last night. That defense is littered with guys that have been cut and signed and cut and signed. They traded for players that just want to play. And they want to play for Mike Vrabel. Tennessee Titans look really stupid right now, and as they should. We went back to the accountability earlier. The Titans are one of the organizations that consistently gets a bad grade now. Why? Because the ownership is afraid of accountability. Mike Vrabel went in, called them all idiots, said, you just traded away the ability for this team to really win for no reason. AJ was not a problem to me. He's only a problem to you. They got rid of Mike Vrabel. And now look at what they've done since. Nothing. And that next coach, if he fights back, will probably get fired too. So Vrabel gets into an organization with a great owner. They gave him the ability to do what he needed to do. Revamped the entire team. And he's got them sitting at 9-2. The best record currently in the AFC. Great. Absolutely great. Watching that game last night, I was just looking at it going, this is a Josh McDaniels, this is a Mike Vrabel coach team. Tough, physical, technically sound. Nobodies all over the field that just continue to make plays. And that's absolutely fantastic. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, guys. That's it for Friday. That is all she wrote. I'll see you guys Monday morning. Monday morning, 9 o'clock. At least the Monday episodes are easy for me to do because I don't go to work till Monday night. But have a great weekend. It's actually warm here. Have a fantastic weekend. Make it the best weekend you can. Watch some football. Can't wait to see how all this plays out. Hopefully for you, it'll be absolutely positively what you need. Hopefully it's absolutely what you need. Have a fantastic weekend. As always, I deeply appreciate it. Make sure to like, subscribe, share the podcast with a friend, and we will talk to you guys on Monday after another wild football weekend, I am sure. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Until next week, for Sports Talk with Hawk, I am Hawk. And I'm out, guys. See you Monday morning.